This podcast contains adult themes, sexual content, and strong language. If you can't handle that, you should probably leave.
Hi, and welcome to Bustles and Bangers with your hostess, Rachel and Christopher.
I love it when you say my name.
Okay, so today I would like to read y'all a book. This is Rachel, and I have
Chris and Tyler.
All right, cool. Okay.
I'm Tyler.
Well, thanks for clarifying. I wasn't quite sure. We were a little confused at the table.
Right.
Okay, I could probably start better. Like, what if we started with, I don't know, Tyler, you've done this before.
Well, this is exactly how we started off. So
Oh, perfect. Good.
it's just an introduction of what we're
Excellent.
going to be talking about, and then
All
we
right.
introduce ourselves.
Excellent. Well, yeah, so I guess I could start out saying, like, this is one of our first podcasts we want to do. And the idea was to read a romance novel and let y'all just pick at it. So I dove into it. And so I just want to, like, sum it up for you a little bit. I've only made it halfway through. So the last time we tried to do this, so just it passed whatever, we kind of started reading it just blankly.
Okay.
And it seemed so dull. It was
Very
so dull.
boring, very quick.
Yeah. And this one is, I felt so bad because I thought it was Robert Leigh, but it's Roberta Leigh. So I want to clarify that this
Roberta
time.
Leigh.
This is by Roberta Leigh, and it's called The Two-Timing Man. And I can tell you right off the bat, this is set in London.
Okay.
So get ready, put on that. British comedy came up in my day-to-day too. It was mentioned. I was a big British comedy fan. But anyway, I want to start off.
Dive into a British comedy, I think.
Yeah, you can. You really can. So I want to read just kind of the pretense for you. A little get you hooked into the book. Okay, so the quote is, "I'm curious to know what HHM stands for." Her heart missed another beat, but recognizing he wouldn't let the matter drop, she decided on bluntness. "It stands for his high and mightiness." Without expression, he regarded her. "You find me autocratic?" "Very." "Will it be a problem for you?" "I give of my best if I'm not on the defensive." "I had the impression you enjoyed a battle, Miss Stewart." "I do, if it's a fair one." All right. Hold on to your britches. All right. So a little bit. Roberta Leigh wrote a first book at the age of 19. So she started early. All right. So here's the deal. You have these characters. Arthur Stewart is Abby Stewart's dad.
Okay.
Abby Stewart is the main character. So I'm going to read a little bit of chapter 1 if that's okay with you.
That's fine.
All right. Arthur Stewart strode into his daughter's office as she was putting on her navy wool jacket. "I'd like a word with you, Abby." "I'm on my way out, Dad. Can it wait?" "I only wanted to tell you Henry Smallwood telephoned to say he'd like the proposal we sent to him and is giving us the contract." "Fantastic." Abby's green eyes sparkled with delight. "All thanks to you, my girl. You put in a colossal amount of research, and the proposals you came up with were first class." "Well, I enjoyed scouting around his stores, asking questions." "And using those big eyes of yours to get honest answers. That's where we scored over our rivals. You did a marvelous presentation." "Thanks. When do I have another raise?" Her father chuckled, knowing her question was rhetorical. "The one thing Smallwood didn't like was the idea of building up the image of his top executives. He's a conservative man and thinks publicity should be given only to the stores." "We can do that too, but the managers and—" "You don't have to persuade me, my dear," Arthur Stewart cut in. "Smallwood's the one. He wants to set up a meeting and discuss it."
I've seen
Good.
a lot of pornos that start like
It's
this.
really...
I've seen a lot of them. I'm getting excited. Mr. Small was
Slow down. We got a ways to go. This is kind of a long...
It's weird that
this
she's
is a
talking to her
marathon.
dad, though,
It's a
but I guess it
slow
is
burn.
2022.
Look,
But
the other
what year is
book I
this written?
skimmed through starts off with the parents, too. These
Oof.
books are weird. It's like, well, I guess that's where it all stems from.
The wool top's getting me going.
Yeah, okay. I mean, look, the descriptiveness in this book is insane. Okay. All right. So Abby's saying good, and she says, "I'm sure I can change his mind." And her dad says, "Remember, he's old-fashioned type." Meaning?
No oral, missionary only.
Keep it legal. So basically from this point, they're just talking back and forth. He's trying to tell her, like, not to wear, or that she's so eye-catching, even if she wore a sack, blah, blah, blah. He's like, don't overdo it. Keep it casual, but professional, but not too casual. Anyway. So she's like trying to take off. You know, she already said, I'm in a hurry. And she goes, and he's like, why? And she says, because I'm going to Caroline's. So Caroline is the cousin, and she's a bit of an estranged cousin. So her father didn't hide his surprise at the mention of his niece. I wasn't aware the two of you still kept in touch. We don't, but she called this morning, asked me to go over. It sounded urgent. Okay, so the deal is Abby goes driving across London, and she's thinking about how her dad was talking about her cousin's now ex-husband. His name is Jeffrey Norton. So the reason she's going to see Caroline is because, like, this dude's left her with a baby. And I don't know what Abby thinks it could be about, but...
What, like, time period are we in? Like 20s, 30s, 40s?
I don't know. What do you
was
get
it-
from
when-
this?
When was it written? So I'm guessing just from the cover, like early
Dude, the
80s.
other... Hold on.
Yeah. Gotta be in the 80s.
That fashion, big hair.
Why don't I know how to find this? This is like, I passed my English and reading classes, but I can never remember where to find it. Y'all have to find it. Oh, wait. Copyright 1993 by Roberta Leigh.
93. All right.
Yeah.
Close to the 80s.
Two-timing man. Okay. So, I want to read to you like a little clip while Abby's driving across London. She's thinking to herself, whew, okay. I've got like excitement nerves. All right. So, driving across London, Abby couldn't help smiling at her father's old-fashioned description of Jeffrey Norton, though it was accurate enough. Handsome and loaded with charm, he had swept her 19-year-old cousin off her feet, and no amount of dissuasion from Abby's parents, who had adopted her after her own parents had been killed in a train crash when she was 10,
What the?
could change her mind.
Dang.
Hold on, I gotta put it down and get a drink of water. I can tell I'm
Pretty
getting
tragic
dry.
for a sex
I'm
worker.
getting
Yeah,
dry.
this
Oh my
is-
God. Ah, I caught it. My bad. Sorry, I'm full of them. All right, so let me just sum this up. Let me get through this slow part. So Abby gets to, I'm going to put the book down just so I can tell you about it. So Abby gets to Caroline's, okay, and the place looks like shit. And, you know, Caroline's got the kid. She tells her that the kid is sick. And Abby's, and she's telling her, she called her because she couldn't miss work. And she's like, you're telling me your boss won't let you miss work, you know, to take care of your sick kid. And she's just like, no, I can't afford to. And she's like, well, where do you even work? Well, she works at the Kitty Cat Club.
Ooh, she's not getting paid very well.
Well, no, she says later that she's getting paid very well.
Well,
I mean,
why can't
she
she take
tries
off
to
some work
refuse a job with Abby. Let's see. Hang on. I had a little star by this.
You sure she's getting paid well, or she just can't miss?
What? No.
I'm just saying, someone works at the Kitty Cat Club.
Both. So anyway, so Abby is like, okay, well, you know, I can watch the kid, but keep in mind I can't change a diaper, dude. Hang on, I'm trying to catch my place. Can't change a diaper. And she's like, no, I didn't call you here to watch the kid. Like, I can't leave him with anybody else. He's super sick. She's like, I called you to like take my place at the Kitty Cat Club. So Abby's like super disgusted. And let me find the place.
But didn't you say Abby kind of looks like a little rough?
Oh yeah, so they talk about their cousins. Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the description. Apart from their hair coloring and height, they were both 5'7". There was little family resemblance between them. Her cousin's looks were chocolate box perfect, whereas Abby's slightly irregular features stopped her from being conventionally beautiful. Yet she was the more arresting because of it. Her nose tip tilted with a sprinkling of freckles on the bridge, her mouth generously wide, with a softly curving lower lip.
She's like
Her
generous
chin-
and
Some
ugly.
shade.
Good.
Her chin small but determined. I don't know what that means. High cheekbones, enhanced green eyes, fringed by thick lashes, several shades darker than her hair, and her skin had pearly translucence that several besotted men had likened to the dawn touched by the rising sun. The dawn sky touched by the rising sun. So,
She thinks these thoughts.
yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, she's got to be the inner monologue, right?
Right.
Like, I mean, who's the outside person describing these women? That's a creep. Like, all right. So, Abby says, like, it's wonderful to see you. Where's the infant? Literally, that's in this. She says, it's wonderful to see you, she said now. Where's the infant? I was like, Abby's a little abrasive. So she said he's sleeping, thank goodness. Caroline led the way into a small, sparsely furnished sitting room. All right, so he had a terrible cold. And let's see. So she, okay, let me read you a little bit of their conversation to get you where I said we were. Abby couldn't believe her ears. You mean you want to go out and leave your baby when he isn't well? Of course not, but I have no choice. If I stay at home, I'll lose my job. Your job? Why else did you think I wanted you to help me? So I could go on a date? Caroline's large brown eyes filled with tears, clear indication how perilous was her self-control. Sympathetically, Abby caught her hand. Surely your employer would understand. He isn't the understanding sort. He'd fire me. For not going in one night, what exactly do you do there? Her cousin stared at the carpet, then lifted her head defiantly. I'm a kitten at the kitty club. You're what? It isn't as bad as it sounds. Who are you kidding? I went there once with a client and it was disgusting. All those leering men. How could you, Caro? That's what she calls her. Caro. Like, ooh, all right.
Caro the kitten.
That is an ugly name. She's really trying to because apparently Caroline's prettier.
Yeah, well, she was like, you know what? She would be so pretty if she wasn't goddamn ugly.
Yeah. Let's see. So I had no choice. It pays better than any day job.
Yeah,
her generously wide mouth.
She's like a funhouse version
but
of
she
herself.
had a determined chin to say all this stuff with. I mean, look, you find out later Abby's kind of a bitch.
Oh, okay.
So
because she's ugly.
yeah, I think it is.
Ugly
And then
and
she
no
starts getting real
personality.
confident in herself, and then it kind of dwindles down a bit again.
Anybody can conquer the Smallwood account, I think.
I don't know. Look, to be honest,
I think there's going to be a suicide at the end of this book.
I don't know if everybody can overcome that.
It's fine.
You told us Jeffrey was supporting you, Abby said angrily. Okay, so I lied. I was ashamed to admit what a fool he had made of me, but I thought I could manage. And I was until today, but with Mrs. Wilson ill, you shouldn't... You should still have let my parents help you. All right, so here we go. So Abby agrees to go to the kitty club, but she's like disgusted while she's putting on this outfit. She can't stand it.
She's stomping around. And she's, can't
Well, it's
stand
like it's like all descriptive but sensual, but she's all like pissed about it. All right. Okay, here it goes. It wasn't until a couple of hours later, as she was dressing to do so, that Abby regretted her promise. How vulgar a kitten's clothes were, hiding her thoughts. She pulled on a pair of sheer black tights over her long, shapely legs. A few hours ago, she had never dreamed that by the end of the day she'd be dressing, or rather undressing, to be leered at by a room full of sex-hungry males. Glancing at her cousin's fine-boned features, she vowed to get her away from this dreadful club and equally dreadful apartment. How do I look? Abby asked.
Slightly irregular.
Yeah, well, here we go. I think there's a put down. So, thinking what a ridiculous figure she cut into in the brief satin outfit with its stiff, arched, fluffy cattail protruding from the back and equally silly, fluffy ears perched on her shoulder-length hair. It was fortunate the costume fitted. Fit? I think it should. For a while, she was almost as slender as her cousin. Her shape was more voluptuous, full breasts tapering down to a tiny waist and well-rounded hips. For answer, Caroline collapsed on the settee, choking with laughter. I can't believe I look as silly as you.
So maybe it's just like a facial thing where she's irregular.
So she's
A
basically
hunchback.
dressed up as like an off-brand bunny.
Basically, yes. Yeah. I think maybe she would have felt better if it was a bunny. I
Yeah.
feel like I need to wear gloves in here. It's super cold. Okay.
So she's filling in for her cousin who's a kitten.
At the Kitty Cat Club. That's where we're at. Yes. So that's the
Because
whole
apparently
first chapter.
You can't miss one,
You can't miss one
One day.
session at the Kitty Cat Club.
No.
or you're out.
No. So just tell me real quick. Do y'all like me just kind of reading some of it, or you want me to skip through something and skip to another chapter?
I think
What do
it's
you want?
fine.
No, I like the setup.
All right. Okay. Let's see. I feel like, she's rude again. Okay, so hold on. I need to read this so you can hear, the rudeness. So Abby's talking. I bet you do, Abby retorted. Now perhaps you'll pocket your pride and let my parents help you until you can get on your feet. You're right, of course, but no buts, Caro, Abby insisted. I'll take over for you tonight, but tomorrow we'll have a serious talk regarding your future.
So she could have taken for her, like, right then and there. She's like, don't come back, but I'm going to cover for you tonight. Like the last night.
Yeah, dude.
I feel like you could have just left the offer on the table and walked away right there.
She's so forceful.
I feel like maybe she was trying to get in there.
Like, Abby throughout this book so far kind of, like, tries to play the victim, but she's such a bitch.
Yeah.
You know, like, suck up your pride. You're so full of yourself. But, you know, she's a professional.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so, all right. So let me just set
That's what
set
she's
the
telling
tone.
herself in the mirror. She fixes it.
I am a professional.
Yeah, they are. They are. All
This is not a
professions are
job. This
legitimate.
is a career, goddammit.
Hey, man, if you can keep it going long enough. All right. So I'm going to set the stage for you going into this club. You know, tell me if you've been to one of these before. All right. Entering the smoke-filled kitty club, Abby was conscious of male eyes running lecherously over her scantily clad body, lingering at bare shoulders, swelling breasts, and exaggerated length of thigh below the cutaway briefs. Squirming inside, she lowered the tray of drinks to shield herself. All right.
Oh.
Come on, honey. A coarse, well, I guess that wasn't coarse enough. Come on, honey. A coarse voice cajoled above the near deafening blare of disco music. Show us what you have behind the tray. So it's disco 70s, I guess.
In 93.
Yeah, like, well, they had to set it back. Everybody
Okay.
that tells a story sets it back at least a
Okay.
decade or two. You know, it can't be
Gotcha,
modern
gotcha.
times. That's not exciting.
Mm.
Because, like, think about it. Like, in our parents' houses and stuff, like in the 80s, everything seemed like kind of Victorian or Greek because, like, that was the time, you know. And then as we get
wooded panels on the wall.
yeah, well, see now our generation is doing the wood paneling on the wall because that
going
was the
back.
70s, 80s trend. And so, yeah, it's like you live a generation for a bit, skip a couple, then you go back. So, yeah. All right. Where was I? It took a tremendous effort on Abby's part not to tip the tray and its contents over the smirking face. Don't let it get to you, another kitten murmured as Abby crossed paths with her. Imagine what it would be like if we had to strip for them. I can't, Abby shuddered, and glancing at the men around her wondered how Caroline could ever have taken such a job when she had an aunt and uncle willing to help her. Pride was her downfall, except it was worse than pride. Obstinacy was a better description.
Yet here she stood,
Yeah.
doing the job for her cousin that she told not to come back. I think she's being a little harsh on her cousin.
She's harsh from the beginning, yeah, dude. Even with her dad, she was like, "Can this wait till later?" Like, I think I missed the part where
there's
he's,
certain
"Can we
part-
chew the fat later?"
Maybe you're the problem.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, we'll see how it works out for her. All right, let's see. Somebody tries to talk to her. She's talking to some other. How had she borne the insinuating and degrading remarks of these disgusting pigs week after week, month after month? And disgusting was the perfect word for them. No self-respecting male would be seen in such a dump. All right, so she already thinks that a self-respecting male, like a good guy, would not come to a place like this. That's Abby's setup.
Again,
Yeah.
there she stands.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so... Okay, so this is the part where she's catching feelings. You want me to just read it to you, or you want me to skip ahead?
Now go for
All
it.
right, just checking.
I think we have time. Yeah, we
I
have
don't know.
time.
I mean, he
Put it in there.
said
We can
he
edit
said
whenever we
one
edit.
chapter an episode at first, and so now here we are in the second chapter already.
We'll kill it.
Okay.
Let's do it. That's
Yeah.
a half
What
hour.
do
Though.
we-
That's pretty good.
You have a time limit on this?
We're here for an hour, I think.
Or an hour?
Yeah.
20 more minutes. We're at 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean,
Time just stops in here.
Mm-hmm.
what do we got? We have another half hour. Yeah. Okay.
Thanks, everybody who might be listening to this thing if it ever kicks off and is being patient with us through whatever this is.
Well, they would edit.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, then they can edit this out.
Yeah,
Right,
this is all.
Okay,
gone.
good. Well, I'm just
It never
thinking.
existed.
Okay, good. Because I'm just thinking, like, do we get through the next chapter, 2 chapters an episode, or
Yeah, we
because I'm
can.
in the
I mean-
8th chapter in this
Well,
thing.
let's do it.
Okay, yeah, just
I mean, just keep going. If we do
All right.
1 through 3, that's cool. You can just lay 1 through 3.
All right. So what were those two executive types waiting at the entrance of the guardly decorated room doing here? Immaculately groomed, they not only stood out like gold among dross, but in their late 20s and mid-30s were younger than most of the other customers. Better looking, too, particularly the older one. So she's already trying to, like, catch feelings for this guy, dude.
Mm-hmm.
So she's, like, talking crap about everybody, and then
He's
one
like a
guy walks
security
in.
guard?
And,
He
no,
must
he's
be.
coming in to see the show, I guess.
He's the one decent man.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah,
In the strip
yeah.
club.
Yeah. He's a good guy.
He's a good guy.
His friends brought him here.
Yeah.
Abby watched him survey the club and its occupants with a disdainful sweep of the eye as he listened to what his companion was saying. She was even more intrigued as she saw Pete, the maitre d', hurry forward to show them a table with unrestricted view of the strip show soon to come on. All right, and then he tells her to get back to work. She's just eyeballing
Yeah,
this
get
guy
back to work,
standing
Abby.
around. Jesus, like, you are going to get Caro
Yeah.
fired.
Taking over.
But she's actually, at this point, she's going by Carla. She says, so some guy's like, Carla, oh, sorry, I'm looking for somebody else. She's like, I am Carla. And he's like, no, you're definitely not. You are not. And she's like trying to make sure that they don't get caught. So she asks this guy to like come off to the side so she can tell him the truth since he's the one that could make her. So she tells him she isn't well. She tries not to tell him about the baby and all this stuff. And she tells him she should be back in a night or two. Abby provocated. Now, if you'll return to your seat, I'll bring you your drinks. As he moved off, a red-headed kitten sauntered close. That guy's mad keen on Carla, she whispered. He's been coming here every night since he saw her here. Beats me why she won't date him. Wish I'd had the chance. Maybe he isn't her type. Are you kidding? She lights up every time he looks at her, but she won't date anyone. All right, so this is the guy that's here to see Carla. But he's got a friend with him, and it's the friend that Abby is attracted to.
Gotcha.
Is the deal. So, let's see. Let's see. Yet even her gaze ranged over him. They were drawn to his companion. There you go. It was ages since she had met anyone who had impinged on her so strongly. His air of command set him apart from every other male here. Dark chestnut hair waved back from a high, intelligent forehead and firm nose, while a wide mouth above...
Sounds perfect for Abby. And her determined chin.
While a wide mouth above a pugnacious chin showed he was accustomed to having his commands obeyed.
How do you know? What the hell?
She is in her head a lot through this book. Well-defined brows drew attention to the narrowed, brooding eyes beneath, eyes that held a sensuality totally different from the leers of the other men around her. Pity he couldn't muster a smile. It would have made him even handsomer if that were possible. All right, I'm going to skip ahead because I think it's just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. They're in the club. So here's the deal. So what happens? I'm going to sum it up for you a little bit. So what happens is she has to go serve them, and he's kind of being rude, the guy she likes. And he turns out to be like a older brother, friend type to this guy that likes Caro.
Everyone's related.
Dude. And so, she's like, well, what are you doing in a place like this? And he's like, later when they talk, he explains that that guy wanted him to go with him to see Carla, Caroline, whatever her freaking name is. And so let's see. They leave that area, and he's like, I'm tired of looking at these bimbos. Like, he literally says something like that. And they go into the casino type spot. She bumps into him. Let's see. She asks him what he'd like to drink. And let's see. I'm just trying to find my place because I did not highlight. Okay, so anyway, she messes up. She tries to charge him for the coffee. Drinks are free in the casino. And she's like, £3, please, sir. She had forgotten to ask how much to charge, and knowing it was the price in the club itself, decided it would be the same in the casino. £3, he echoed. His tone was aggressive, and she wondered why. She also wondered at the hardening of his mouth when it had been smiling at her moments ago. Could she have charged too much? Even if she had, the difference was pennies, and unless he was particularly tight-fisted, why was he so angry? Yes, sir, Abby answered. Got yourself a nice little racket here, haven't you? The quietness of his tone was menacing. I don't understand. I'd have thought it was simple enough. You're trying to make yourself some money on the side. Don't Don't you know a casino doesn't charge for coffee, he elaborated. Abby gave an exclamation. What an idiot she was to forget. Of course they didn't. Food and drink, including alcohol, was free in the casino. I'm sorry, she apologized, but this was the first time I've worked here. If you're going to lie, at least think of something more original, he grated, and taking a 5-pound note from his pocket, tossed it on her tray. Keep the change. You obviously need it.
Dang, they're definitely going to get it on later.
Well.
These two.
Yeah. So that's their interaction. Anyway, keep in mind this whole
playing
night.
It very strong, I think. I think that's a power move.
He's not. Yeah, he's not like trying to like be like, "Hey, baby, how you doing?" He's like he's being an ass.
Pushed her over and threw $1 at her.
Yeah, right. And so,
I'm not. He's playing that. I'm not interested about you at all.
Yeah, skank.
You're lesser than.
Yes, she heard him say bimbos at some point. I just lost that spot. So anyway, at some point they keep fussing, and she's like, "If you're implying I picked your pocket." He didn't deny the accusation. Oh, no, that's because she found his wallet, too. He had dropped it. Dude, it's just so much drama through this club. Now, keep in mind, the whole time she's working, she's trying to avoid Caroline, Carla's boss. But he's supposed to be out of town.
Because
However,
he would notice that that's not the same person.
Yes. He's like the one person, but he was supposed to be out of town. So anyway,
if he notices her and then he's like, yeah, you can't be here, even though you're way, way prettier than fucking Caro.
No, but the Caroline's the more pretty one.
Abby's the ugly one. Yeah, so that's why you got Shrek running through there. And the casino serving people drinks, charging them money, stealing their wallets and shit. He's probably going to be pretty mad.
So, anyway, so it just so happens, of course, it should have set me up. I didn't know if he was going to run into her or not, but he's there. The boss is there. He runs into her and he's, grabbing her by the arm, stopping her like, you're not.
Who are you?
Yeah, who are you? I don't remember hiring you anyway. So he says, as replacements go, you're not half bad. Beady eyes ranged.
Knew it.
Yeah. Beady eyes ranged from breasts to hips to thighs. If you're nice to me, I might be willing to keep you on permanently. Nauseated by the suggestion, she attempted to wrench herself free, but to no avail, for he tightened his hold. I admire a bit of spunk, he leered. The ones... the ones... No. Well, hang on. The ones who say yes too quickly are no fun. I'd never say yes to you, she snapped. If you don't let go of me, I'll scream, she warned.
Is the dude about to come in and save her?
I don't know. I'm sure it won't be necessary, Rory's voice said behind her. And this is the guy. Rory's the guy. Kevin's the other guy.
This is
Rory's
the one that just
this
threw
guy.
the $1 at her and told her to piss off?
Yes. So, I'm sure it won't be necessary, Rory's voice said behind her, his strong fingers prizing Vincent's from her arm. No gentleman detains a lady against her will. Typically of the man, there was a sarcastic emphasis on the words gentleman and lady. In this establishment, the customer is always right, Vincent said with forced bonhomie as he backed away. Nice people you work for, Rory murmured. It was lucky I noticed what was going on. Thank you, she managed tightly, still smarting from his insulting inflection on the word lady. He shrugged wide, powerful shoulders. I hope you've learned a lesson. Next time you're accosted, there might not be anyone around to rescue you. Finely curved, dark eyebrows drew together. Not that you deserve it. You doll yourself up to turn men on and act the squeamish virgin when you succeed. I clearly don't turn you on, she answered pointedly, but no doubt you're a saint. Let's just say I'm not attracted to a girl that has one to pay for one's pleasures. How dare you, forgetting Caroline in her fury. Abby's hand.
Accountant.
How dare you, forgetting Caroline in her fury. Abby's hand came out and slapped his face with all her strength. A red blotch appeared on his cheek and he slowly touched his fingers to it. You'll notice fingers a lot in this book. I thought face slapping went out with bustles, he said with surprising calm. But maybe you mistook your furry tail for one. The only thing I mistook was you for Sir Galahad, she retorted. Next time you rescue a damsel in distress, perhaps you'll manage to be more gracious.
All of this is happening in a public casino.
Yeah.
And he said nobody else would save her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, I skipped that part.
I like to believe like this is how the conversation's going on in their heads, but in reality, they're both wasted and drunk, and everyone else is just looking at this exchange.
She's like, the only thing I just took was for you, Sir Galahad. Like,
she's being drug off by a foot. Get out of here.
Near to tears, she fled into the cloakroom and collapsed on a stool. What a nightmare helping her cousin had proved to be. She had been ogled, pawed, propositioned, and insulted, and the evening was not yet finished. She had no idea how she was going to get through the remaining hours, but for Caroline's sake, she had to stick it out. There was still her paycheck to collect. Sighing, she rode. Damn, she got on quick. Rode that pony. Sighing, she rose and made her way back into the casino. And now we're on to chapter 3.
That's pretty intense.
That's what's going on. That's what's going on.
So is the story about Rory and Abby?
Yes. I can tell you I've already gotten to a point where I do understand that they are obviously the two that this is about. Yeah. Everybody's mixed into their drama.
Okay.
It's pretty
It's
good.
intense. Yeah. So
It's a good story to tell the kids.
Yeah. Everyone gather around.
she's about to go disappoint her dad a little bit.
Yeah, it sounds like she's already disappointed with her dad.
Yeah. Dude, let me check time. So, maybe I can get through. Maybe I can sum up. Dang, why is chapter 3 so long? Damn. Okay. So anyway, let me see if I can sum up chapter 3 for you. Maybe we can get through this. Entering her father's office at 9 the next morning, Abby collapsed into the leather chair in front of his desk. You'd make a good advert for the morning after the night before, he commented, setting aside the newspaper he had been reading. Thanks, she muttered. There's nothing like flattery to make a girl feel great.
Nobody has paid this girl a compliment in this book. Damn, you look ugly today. Oh, your irregular features make you look very irregular today.
Well, and I feel like it's really like the morning after the night before. Like, I don't understand why her dad talks to her like this. I can tell what time period this is set in, but it's so gross. Thanks, she muttered. Okay, yeah, we got to that. Don't tell me you were burning the midnight oil on the Smallwood contract. She shook her head. Then why the dark circles? With an eager rush of words, Abby gave him a quick resume of the events of the previous
boss
evening.
hit me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, she hit him.
Oh, that's right. That's right. She hit him.
No, she hit Rory.
For hitting.
Excuse me. She hit Rory because Rory was being an asshole after he saved her. Like, you could have walked off, man. Like, this was just some bimbo in your eyes. Anyway, so
I just like the idea of a dude going to a strip club and be like, where are all these bimbos coming from?
Yeah, and then saving one and then calling her a bimbo. That's great.
Oh. Anyway, so her dad's like, you know, what a damn stupid thing to do, he exclaimed, going to a place like that. And then she's like, I did it to help Caroline. And he's like, it isn't a place our clients go to. It's a real dump, you know. So anyway, her dad's like, but he comes to understand. You know, she explains Caroline's situation, that she wants her to come work for them, you know, get her out of that place. So he agrees. He's like, I don't understand why she didn't just come live with us, you know, before we were willing to take care of her. Like, they want grandchildren. They don't have any yet because Abby's not providing.
Yeah.
She's a single kid.
Abby doesn't have any personality.
No.
Apparently.
No. She's a little uptight. Like, man, if I could go work the kitty cat club, I'd be down. Like, all right, that'd be fun. All right, so
I think if she would have embraced him more, maybe it would have worked for her.
Yeah, like, didn't you get tips? Like, you're working for you too.
She got a $5 bill thrown at her.
Maybe they don't. Yeah, like, shut up. Damn, I want a $5 bill.
That's like a $25 tip.
You could get some. What was it on Soylent Green that they had, like the strawberry jam or something?
Yeah, something.
I was like, shit, that stuff's expensive. So anyway, she's like, oh, thanks, Daddy. I'll call Carolyn right away and fix the appointment to see Mr. Smallwood. You know, so she's going off. So the deal is the Smallwood account's supposed to be a really big deal for their firm, their marketing firm. So she's like top dog in the business. And at first you think it's probably just because she works for Daddy, but turns out she's like, no, I'm worked at another job and I earned my way up here. Let's see. So she gets back to talking to Caroline, tells her that this guy asked about her. She's like, no, I didn't tell him about the kid. Don't worry, you know, yada, yada, yada. And she's like, you're coming to work for us. And then like, she's trying to like convince her to see Kevin. And she's like, but what would Jeffrey think? She's like, what does Jeffrey matter? And then they're trying to work out babysitting for the job. She's got to deal with all that junk. Anyway, so let's see. Give you a little context of where we are in the book. The weekend flew by, filled with a party on Saturday and an early movie and dinner on Sunday with Martin Buchanan, her current boyfriend. A successful director of television commercials, he was divorced and had no children. She didn't even have like step grandkids, dude. She had met him 3 months ago and thought he was attractive and fun to be with. She knew he could never mean anything special to her. The trouble was no other man had either, and guilt-ridden by her parents' obvious desire for her to marry and give them grandchildren, she sometimes wondered if she was being too choosy. After all, she was 26 and far too level-headed to expect to be swept off her feet by a knight in shining armor.
This is Abby?
This is Abby. She's
Wasn't
got this boyfriend.
Just swept off her feet by a knight, or almost happened.
Like,
literally that exact situation.
Like slapping him, she got stuck and was like, whoop. Yeah, dude.
I think Abby maybe needs to sit down and reflect on herself for a little bit.
She does through this whole book. She's doing nothing but reflecting on the entire situation.
Maybe
I guess none of it's inward. It's not about. She doesn't think about herself.
She's very
Self-centered.
Yeah.
But not even self-centered because she's not thinking about herself. She's just being really judgmental on everybody else and rude and rough. All right, so
Abby has some actual insecurities.
Dude, probably. Yeah, because she put herself down in that descriptive part. She told herself she had irregular features if she's the narrator. Yeah. So here Carolina is saying she managed to get Charlie into the crochet. She smiled, and my landlady will collect him at 3 and take care of him till I get back. So if you ever want me to stay on late, I can. So Caroline's, she's set. She's going to the job now. So here Abby is. She's got Caroline at work with her, and she is off to go talk to Smallwood. Okay, so she's like getting dressed for it, trying to be real worried about all that. So anyway, so she's like, how do I look for my meeting with Mr. Smallwood? In that outfit, you'd melt the heart of a misogynist.
Is she still wearing the cat?
The
cat costume?
No.
Oh, I didn't know she'd changed clothes
When
yet.
you said, is she still wearing the cat? Like, I had the words. I was like, what? In that outfit, you'd melt a heart of a misogynist. Abby was glad to hear it. She had spent considerable time studying her wardrobe before deciding on a compromise between her father's stated advice and the more trendly inclination. A navy and white chalk-striped trouser suit ensured her knees were covered, whilst the narrow cut emphasized the slender curves of hips and legs. Beneath a white cashmere polo neck sweater was the perfect foil for the full curve of her breasts, and a navy Chanel bag and shoes completed the picture of executive efficiency.
She's dressed like a stewardess.
Yeah. I mean, that's back in the day. Those were all the little suits that women had to wear. Think about what was in the department store. There's one thing wrong, her cousin preferred tentatively.
It's your face, Abby.
It's another foot down. It's like, no, you look great. Let me just fix
Clothes
this.
are awesome. But
So she says, your hair. It's her hair. Abby nodded glumly. I know. I shouldn't let it hang loose and long. Oh, wordplay. Not unless you want Mr. Smallwood to start pawing the ground and neighing. The neighing I can cope with. It's the knowing I don't want.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Somebody put this girl out of her misery, please. Another cloakroom. Here we go. Going into the cloakroom, she pulled her long, thick, red gold colored hair away from her face, plaiting it loosely and then rolling it into a coil to rest on the nape of her neck. Yes, she had to admit her cousin was correct. It did complete the picture of efficiency she was aiming to create. So that's the picture she's trying to create here, man. Efficiency, dude. Keep it efficient. Okay, so anyway, she gets to the office and she finds out that she's not meeting with the person she was supposed to be meeting with because another company has partnered with them.
Okay.
Or like bought them out. It was an agreement because they wanted to partner with them and they were like, no, we'll buy your company and then we'll work together.
So Smallwood's getting bought out.
Basically. And they're mixing with a place called Cooper's.
Oh, if you said Big Wood. Come on.
Like, damn it, they always come in and knock the competition out. So anyway, she does still meet with Henry Smallwood. Okay, but he explains to her what's going on and that it would be better for her to actually talk to the new guy. Let's see. Oh shoot, now I can't remember his name.
So what does Abby actually
Mr. Hunt
do? What is this contract? What is she selling?
Okay, so Smallwoods is like a store. Like, I don't know, let's imagine a Target.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like a Target. And this new company coming in actually like brought in a little food area where they cook their own food, like HEB.
Okay.
Sorry, that's not a plug. I don't know if we're if we're supposed to mention names or not. Anyway, so Smallwood's giving her the down low, the DL. Ooh, giving her the D. And he's this older guy, like much older. Mm-hmm. You know, that's why he's old fashioned. Like he's a gray haired old guy. And like she's like listening to him. Abby marveled the way he was chairman of a countrywide chain with his old world courtliness and pernickety manner. I thought that should be persnickety. Pernickety. It was easy to see why, if attitudes were reflected from boardroom downwards, the group needed new blood and more modern image. So that's kind of where they're at. All right, so he's looking at her stuff, and he's like, there are some good ideas in here, Miss Stewart, particularly where you propose giving our staff a specific image and bringing them closer to the general public. We care, you buy, he quoted her slogan with a smile. Catchy, short, and easy to remember. However, my opinion is no longer the one that counts. Abby's spirit plunged. It isn't? No, the man you will have to persuade is Rossiter Hunt. Don't look dismayed, my dear. I'm sure he'll admire your proposals as much as I do. He's extremely go-ahead, and we're lucky to have him with us, even though we had to buy his company to achieve it. Okay, sorry, I had that messed up. Smallwoods had to buy. That's so weird. That's kind of a weird backwards kind of thing. Why would you want someone else to buy your company to merge with them? Was it really that good of a deal? Could it be?
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
All right.
you're getting a big contract.
Yeah, I guess so. So, she's like, when did this happen? And then she's like, shall I contact Mr. Hunt myself, or would you prefer to introduce me? And he's like, it would be better if I did it. You see, when I had discussions with your father, I wasn't aware Rossiter would be against us using an outside firm for our public relations. He believes
kind of ugly and dressed like a cat.
She's in a sweater. She's in a sweater. He believes it can be done equally well within our own organization, as he's been doing with Cooper's. With an effort, Abby kept her cool. It's easier to promote the image of a successful chain. Yes, yes, came a hurried retort, but Cooper's wasn't always successful. They were doing badly until Rossiter joined them. He was a lawyer and nephew of the founder, and when his uncle appealed to him for help, he took over. Cooper's
uncle appeared.
Sorry. Hello. Yeah. Cooper's recovery was one of the success stories of the 80s. Okay, wait. So it is set in the 90s. Why is there disco music in this?
I don't know. Maybe it was like
I guess that's the cool stuff to listen to.
Maybe that was just disco night.
Weird. Maybe. Okay. So Thursday night.
Yeah, Thursday
night. It was
night.
Definitely a Thursday if she was at work and then she was going to cover her shift because Thursdays are popping.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks y'all for helping me kind of work this out.
No, that's cool.
See, now I'm seeing different perspectives. All right. One of Abby's delicate eyebrows rose. So the law was shelved and big business took over permanently. So anyway, she's pissed and she's kind of showing it with her own persnickety attitude. Anyway, I haven't told Rossiter a woman will be handling our PR, Mr. Smallwood cut into her thoughts. Merely that we've engaged your firm. He assumes he'll be working with your father. My father only handles city institutions, Abby said, disappointed that Mr. Hunt, who sounded so impressive, appeared to be a chauvinist.
I gotta tell you, Abby, that with an attitude like that, you're probably gonna lose this account too.
Oh my God, dude!
She's go ahead and let you know that if you go in there and do that, he's a misogynist. He's probably just gonna tell you to fuck off.
That's her inner monologue. So. That's what she's thinking. That's what she's thinking.
It would help if you were cuter, though, Abby.
All right. So he's like, I'm going to step out of the picture once I introduce you. All right. Do you mind if I had a word with Mr. Oh, so he calls them on the phone to tell him that he's got somebody he wants him to meet. And so she's like, do you mind if I have a word with Mr. Hunt myself? She says, "This is Abby Stewart, Mr. Hunt. I appreciate you're extremely busy, but frankly, if you can't spare me more than quarter of an hour, there isn't any point in our meeting. Unless I learn to speed speak, there's no way I can present my ideas in 15 minutes. Point taken, Miss Stewart."
Have a good day.
Speak.
Dude, that happened to me recently. Somebody hung up on me. "Does that mean I get half an hour at least?" She shot back at once because he said, "Point taken, Miss Stewart. Providing you don't mind an early start to your morning. 7:30 Thursday suit you?" "I can make it earlier if you wish. I usually begin work at 7. She lied sweetly. She's already lying, man.
I'm
To start off.
5:30 kind of man.
I just stay awake. That's much better. All right. No, 7:30's fine. Breakfast at my apartment. 2 Radley House, Mayfair. Everybody look up that address. Preempting her agreement, the intercom went dead. So he's not usually so abrupt, Henry Smallwood excused with obvious embarrassment. He has a lot on his mind at the moment. "I hope he'll have more after I've seen him," Abby replied. Damn. "Well, you certainly appear to have found the right formula for handling him. Good luck on Thursday, my dear." All right, so Abby's driving back to her office, and she goes to tell Caroline about this. You know, she still hasn't seen Rossiter Hunt, so she's getting ready to go have breakfast at his apartment.
But it doesn't sound like he wants to see her.
No, he's already an asshole. So she goes to have breakfast at his apartment. Let's see. Oh, okay. So she's like trying to find an outfit for this deal. And it's real serious. You know, they get real descriptive and everything. And Caroline's like sick of this. She's like, "Let's call it a day," Caroline groaned, easing off a shoe and rubbing her instep. "My feet are telling me to sit down, and my instincts are telling me you aren't going to find anything wrong with this group." Oh, no. I've got you messed up. Hold on. Let me go back.
Okay.
All right. So she's trying to research Cooper's. I got stuck on a whole outfit part. She's trying to research Cooper's so that when she comes to the table with Rossiter Hunt, she can actually be like, "Oh, I found a problem with your business." You know, because she's worried she's going to lose this account if it doesn't look good enough because he's done this.
Because she definitely doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay, I got
yes.
you.
Yes. So she's been having Caroline run around all the stores. They're like looking into like how the racks are displayed and what the food tastes like, and she can't find anything wrong with this thing. So she's kind of getting pissed, and she's like, "No, I'm gonna keep going. You know, Caroline, stay back," because there were no faults to be found. Let's see. So Caroline's like, "Dude, we can't find anything." So she's like, "I agree with you," Abby admitted. "And since we can't fault what they do, let's see if we can fault what they don't." Dropping her bag on her desk, she sat down and drew a sheet of paper towards her. "You aren't thinking of working now, are you?" her cousin demanded. "I sure am. I work best when my mind's fresh." "It can't be fresh at this hour." "Yes, it is. I'm pumping with adrenaline, and whenever I think of Rossiter Hunt, it starts pumping more." Then you won't be needing a cup of black coffee? "Too right. I'd like a pot. Will you be an angel and make one?" Mumbling "slave labor" though grinning as she did, Caroline went off to do as she was bid. She's talking back at work, dude. And being a bit dramatic.
Yeah.
It's a pot of coffee.
I find Abby very incompetent. She hasn't done anything.
She's talking.
The only time she helped somebody, she slapped somebody.
Yeah. Well,
then
he helped her, and she slapped him.
Crazy.
So she's she's a
I
jerk.
don't know. I think Abby needs to get her gaming gear for chapters 4 and 5.
This is all told from the perspective of a narcissist.
Yeah, for sure.
It really does get worse. I mean, so anyway.
But no, this is fast. Like, this is how they think.
This is, yeah. Well, I guess I've never thought in this much detail. I don't know if it's my ADHD or what, but like, no, I've never been like, "Oh, look at the black, sleek, rustly carpeted walls." I don't know what. I don't even know how to be descriptive like that. She's really intense. But that's because she's by herself with her boring boyfriend.
It's funny when she talks like that, too.
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
She talks
"Hey,
like
Dad, you look really," I don't know. I don't even know how to be descriptive. I can't imagine somebody being this descriptive. Not even in a book. Not even in this written book. Like, there is so much description. It's too much. Like, I want to make up my own picture. Give me a break. I don't want to hear about what style your buttons are on your jacket, on your pantsuit. But anyway, it looks like we're kind of out of time.
I think we're out of time.
So that's 3 chapters. So
I think that's
anyway, did you enjoy it? Give me some feedback, guys.
Well, it just Sucks that we're out of time because it sounds like it's about to build up.
Okay, because like seriously, I'm on chapter 8.
Yeah, the
And-
lead-in was really slow, but it sounds like it's just ready to go off.
Yeah, well, it's at chapter 8 is the exact middle of the book, and
Okay.
and I know what happens there.
It feels like it's laying down the groundwork.
Yeah.
for
Do y'all
something.
feel like you wished I would have summarized more and then gotten
Probably.
further?
Specifically that last chapter?
Yeah. I'll
Because
get
Learning,
used to it.
still getting there.
the stuff at the strip club, all that was,
Yeah, so it's hard to pick particular chapters because, like, I feel like I got to walk you through it.
mhm.
I mean, there's only 4 more chapters, but they're good ones. But anyway, I guess I could just kind of like next time just summarize it a bit quicker,
yeah.
perhaps.
Well, I think this first book we kind of get our feel, and then the second one's like our first one.
Yeah.
Like that way after we know what we're doing.
Well, on the second one, do y'all want me to like, should I, or if you're not here, Tyler, if it's just me and Chris, do you want me to just keep doing as we did
Yeah, I
to
think we
finish
just
out
keep
this
doing this.
first book?
I think we just do this style for this first book and see kind of how everything progresses because I'm getting a little bit better with this being here.
Yeah.
It's still.
And I had
building.
like excited nerves at the beginning, and now I've chilled out. So like maybe that
Mhm.
helped to actually know what I was reading through. So
Yeah.
anyway, any feedback from y'all?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, rather than the empty blind read.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Well, I mean, I'm getting used to it. It's just, and once I do
Maybe-
get used to it, it'll be fine. It's
Yeah.
just having the time in front of it, you know, will fade that away. Right. Yeah, no, for sure. And we'll make I think we're kind of getting closer and closer to an assessment on that. So
Thanks. Okay. No, yeah,
right.
surprise.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
right.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, because it really is too much. Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's absurd. It's through the whole book, man. Wait till later. There's a whole desk situation. But see, now that I kind of know, now I'll know a little bit better what I need to highlight. Because that was the thing. I'm reading it by myself, trying not to give him away too much. So I can't get reactions until we do this. Now I kind of know what to look for. So
Yeah, kind of as we
thank
go
you,
through
guys.
this first one. We'll have it set up,
yeah, like
figured out for-
can we is it safe to say that this first book is like our test run of getting a grip on it, and we get through the whole thing and see how that goes? Okay.
Okay, yeah. No, I think that's good. Can we burn that first one we did though? Like just get rid of that altogether?
Well,
Yeah, I
too,
don't
like
think
I'm
so.
trying to think of a name because it feels weird to intro this without like, and I'm sorry I had trouble kind of introing it. Like I felt prepared, but then I was like, yeah. Okay. Because we can edit that and put in me saying a different intro next time. Okay, good. Perfect. Oh, I
Yeah.
love that y'all are doing all those parts.
Cool.
Okay. Do we need to be bringing Tyler back with us, or do you think that going to just one person and saying like we had a special guest?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
has a better reaction and gives you a
I think that's better than
conversation.
having-
Because you know what?
It
When we're
does.
on our porch, it's always
And
one
that's why
extra
we wanted
person
to
at
bring.
least.
That's what I told her. I was like, we need to bring somebody out for me to.
Yeah,
bounce
they're
off.
long-term buds. Like, they grew up together, so.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, somebody
most
the
of the
other
time.
day was like, man, you just add it with the comments, like, just the backup stuff. Like, not backup, but, like. This next one might be good. This next one.
And that's probably, and there's like,
We're
probably the problem with this
finding-
book is there's not a lot to like latch on.
Well, and
with
also
that.
we're
I
trying to
kinda
find
did
his
some-
groove for what makes him most relaxed and funny. Yeah.
Right.
I
This
had
is
to
randomly
read it.
thrown in
I
the
had to
pile,
read
so-
it, and then I got into it. Yeah,
So-
I had to read it
and-
to get into it.
Yeah, and I get more comfortable with
Okay.
everything. It'll be.
Yeah. Well, dude, like this one leads off quick. Like it's
it-
ridiculous in the beginning. Like I felt like I brought it just because like I wasn't sure. Like I figured maybe y'all could rip into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is so fucking descriptive on her clothes and the furniture. Yeah.
Yeah. The ammo to latch onto something.
Well, Mike, do
Yeah.
we have any leeway to test out me reading like the first couple of things on this other book I read and see how they feel about it? All right. Are y'all cool with a little extra time?
Mm.
Okay. I'm just so glad you're giving us like that much time to like get into it and settled.
Yeah.
Well, I did. I actually enjoyed the
Yeah,
book.
and it's fun.
And I've laughed. I've
We just need to get over the nerves, I
I've
think,
normally
on my
laughed at
end.
that. Yeah, and I like yeah, no, I like hearing them. Okay, so let me start off with this one. Let me just see how we roll just for like a test run.
Let's do it.
I promise we're testing all the we'll be testing it. Okay, good.
fair
Okay,
enough.
perfect. Well, because that was something too, like getting comfortable with what's our time limit. Maybe I need to be able to visually see it sometimes because I'm
There's
facing
the
this.
clock right
I
there.
know, but look, it's better for me to face this way because I have the light and I can see y'all.
Oh, yeah. right
Okay,
here.
that would be good. And then it counts down. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Okay.
That's pretty
Okay.
good for 3.
3 chapters.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's good. See, we don't have a an idea of how to measure whether or not that was a good amount for the time.
I
So
think-
okay.
Yeah, so I think that's, I mean.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
mm,
Yeah.
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 Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yes.
Fair.
Okay. So let's do a little kicker on this. Let's do it. All right. All right, guys. So my name is Rachel, and I have with me Christopher and Tyler. Say hi, guys.
That's it.
Hi.
Okay. First was Tyler, then was Christopher. Okay, so I'm going to read y'all a book. Now, the other book I've done before, I kind of read through it a bit. This one I haven't gotten so far in, but I mean, the beginning popped off fast. It is by Julie Garwood.
Mm-hmm.
The first novel, oh my God, I can't talk. The first novel of the Claiborne Brides. This one's called One Pink Rose. So I'm going to read you kind of the intro. I'm going to read you what somebody said about it. Miss Garwood combines the Old West and England to create an incredibly entrancing tale with a cast of unique characters that will certainly linger in your heart. Her gifted prose is always a treat, and For the Roses is no exception. That's the other books. All right.
So this one's set in England too, huh?
Yeah.
Or the
Well,
Wild
this is.
West.
Do you think this is where all the romance novels
Maybe,
come
I don't
from?
know.
I mean, I was talking about British comedies. I mean, good art. This one's 1997. The other one was
It
1999.
might be
Well,
interesting to
updated
do just one episode, just like a history of romance novels.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Okay, like to get set up.
Yeah.
You get a clip from it. Maybe I'll do some research. All right, so prologue. I got to get used to like all the stuff I learned in English and reading class again, dude. Prologue. Long ago, there lived a remarkable family. They were the Claibornes, and they were held together by bonds far stronger than blood. They met when they were boys living on the streets in New York City. Runaway slave Adam, pickpocket Douglas, gunslinger Cole, and conman Travis survived by...
yeah. Conman Travis.
So this is what I was talking about. We were watching a movie last night. What was it
Demons.
called? Demons. Okay, and I had recently seen it before. And we were talking about the stereotypes.
The character cut out. Yeah.
There were like 3 different sections of stereotypes, and it was like, you know, the druggie, the blind guy, the cheater,
You got the jocks, you got the
pimp,
the metalheads.
Yeah. So this is like when I started reading this today, I was like, oh my God. Okay, so just to reflect on the characters, we have runaway slave Adam.
That's so crazy.
I'm still not sure what the time, like what time we're in.
Where
You know,
did
we
you
know
run
that
away
was
from?
written in 1997. This sounds like, what, 20s, 30? What? No, 20s, not 20s.
Slave?
That's when did it end? You're my history buff.
1865.
Okay, God, I'm an idiot. All right, so gunslinger Cole, pickpocket Douglas, and conman Travis. So they're all bad.
Yeah.
I mean, even him being a slave, they're making it sound bad, like because he's a runaway one, like he quit his job. Like, give me a break, Jesus. So when so they survived by protecting one another from the older gangs roaming the city. When they found an abandoned baby girl in their alley, they vowed to make a better life for her and headed west.
So a bunch
So
of
that
misfits
says this
got
is-
a hold of a baby that they just found in a warehouse
Yeah.
and left.
Yeah, they left New York City to head
3 men
west.
and a baby.
Yeah. So they eventually settled on a piece of land they named Rose Hill, deep in the heart of Montana territory. The only guidance they received as they were growing up came from the letters of Adam's mother, Rose. Rose learned about her son's companions from their heartfelt letters to her, for they confided their fears, their hopes, and their dreams, and in return she gave them what they had never had before, a mother's unconditional love and acceptance. In time, each came to know her as his own Mama Rose. After 20 long years, Rose joined them. Her sons and daughters were finally content. Her arrival was indeed a cause for both celebration and consternation. Her daughter was married to a fine man and expecting her first child, and her sons had grown to be honorable, strong men, each successful in his own right. But Mama Rose wasn't quite satisfied just yet. They had become too settled in their bachelor ways to suit her. Yeah. Yeah, like I told you, this goes weird. Why do they keep starting with parents? My God, we have all got some parent issues. It's mom, dad, missing, whatever. You've got issues. They had become too settled in their bachelor ways to suit her. Since she believed God helps those who help themselves, there was only one thing left for her to do. She was going to meddle.
With her sons.
Like, you know, it's so crazy. You know how we just earlier talked about trends coming back and forward? We were talking about the other book was like set in the 90s, I guess. They referred to the 80s, but they had disco music on. Like this one I feel like has the same kind of vibe starting to happen. 20 long years. Okay, so there's a poem in here. Time of Roses. It was not in the winter our loving lot was cast. It was the time of roses. We'd plucked them as we passed. Thomas Hood, 1798 to 1845. That's how long he made it. And there were roses. So anyway, how do you feel about that intro?
That was pretty intense.
It's like the parent thing is getting weird.
Yeah.
Oh, what I was saying, the trending times. This is where I messed up. I forgot to finish my thought. So like, I don't know. Are y'all watching porn? Because all this family stuff is insane.
Oh yeah.
I'm not watching those, just to clarify. I see that it's happening. I am not divulging.
Step family porn is
right, but so see, this is coming back. Apparently, this whole
or maybe
parent
it never
thing.
went anywhere.
Yeah, right.
It's
Maybe
been
it was
hidden
always a
under
thing. We
the.
just didn't know about it.
Is there a? Yeah.
It's just because we're in the Bible Belt.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that has been heavy lately too. So much. Yeah. So anyway, she's gonna like employ God to act through her to satisfy.
Meddle with her
To make them marry a chick?
Yeah,
I
I
don't
guess.
understand. Like, I guess it's supposed to be romantic, but it's like, this is so like, get to the naughty stuff. What are we going to get to that's naughty in here if we're so worried about God setting them up with somebody?
I'm going
You
for
know,
the
it
runaway
almost
slave.
feels
in this
like
book.
so. They have to go through all this rigmarole to justify that you're not just reading a skin novel. You know,
Mm-hmm. Like, just get to it like porn does. Oh,
Yeah.
Henry, I'm
Well, some of
sorry
the
that I was
acting
late
in
to
porn
work.
is pretty good.
No, never.
What was
never.
that? Don't they have one that had like a really high budget? Like
Pirates.
that Pirates movie? Yeah. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah. Well, but the acting was not good. That didn't matter.
I
It was
never
just a bunch
watched
of
it.
guys acting drunk, having sex with supposed hookers of the time, which, you know.
Well, that one certainly opened up a little harder.
That's what I was saying. I was saying it kicked off really fast to be like already stereotyping these guys and then like telling him this mom's going to try to hook him up and get
Travis.
laid. Thanks, Mom. I just had. So.
And they didn't say anything about what happened to that baby. Just 20 years, huh?
I know. I'm not understanding what that was about. So, the daughter. I guess they're considering the daughter who's having the chick.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It confused me because then it was like talking about it's Adam's mom.
I guess we're
That's
gonna
the
have
other
to
book.
dive
Do you want the
in.
new book? That's the old one. Here. Yeah, it was talking about Adam's mom was the one that they were writing.
I was just curious when this one was made.
97. Like, how dull in 97 was it to live in England and try to be writing sexy stories?
But that's the thing. Does this author even live in England?
I don't know.
Or is
Yeah,
that
is it
just the
everybody's
trope?
fantasy? It's like sex in England. I could not imagine wanting to like have a fantasy about sexy England stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I get a tropic place
England is
or
very, very unsexy.
yeah, like it's the unsexiest. That's the problem. Maybe we need to get like some
I mean,
Italian
It's
novels.
so weird. Like when you watch like an English movie, you can tell someone's English just by looking at them. They all look a little inbred.
Well, a little like fuzzy, a little yellowed.
Yeah,
Their
little,
picture is old.
yeah.
There's a fog around them.
Teeth are all messed up.
That's the yellow. Yeah. Sorry. No, I really do. I have a fondness for British comedies because my mom made me watch them when I
British
grew up.
comedy
They
is
were good.
awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but anyway, this is not British comedy. This is British. What
Supposed
British literature?
romance novels.
British educated literature.
These are instruction manuals. of
Yes.
Other British people.
How to make a baby
Something
through Jesus.
As y'all
If you want more where this came from, follow, like, and subscribe. We're on Insta and TikTok at Bustles and Bangers. Or you can find us personally on Insta and TikTok at Gypsy Danger 317.